Well, our next candidate is Ken Hamaguchi. Ken, I'd like you to introduce yourself to our viewers and introduce yourself and why you're running for school trustee here in the city of Richmond.
Okay, I'm Ken Hamaguchi, and I was born in Vancouver, but I've basically spent the next 62 years as a resident of Richmond. So I went to school at Gilmore, Boyd, and Steveston High. That's one of my reasons for running as a trustee, is I really believe that education is important and that we need to provide the kids with the best possible education as possible. And being a school trustee, it allows me to do part of that. So that's why I'm running.
Okay. Well, we've had a couple of questions sent in to us that people feel are important. The first one is COVID-19 has had a huge impact on the well-being and health of our students and their social life as well. And I understand that the students today have asked to have a voice at the board level. If you are voted in as a trustee, how do you perceive this to be able to facilitate such a partnership with the students?
Okay. You know, currently we actually do have a relationship with the students, especially we have a group called Table 38 where representatives from the various schools, we meet with them and we talk about the issues that concern them. And so that mechanism is already in place. As for going beyond that, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, we're here for the kids, and you know they need to be heard. As I said, I think we're doing a good job right now with the current measures we have in place to communicate with them. But I'm open to expanding on that if that's what the will of the kids and and administration.
Well, so much more has changed too since COVID-19 because they were out of touch in most cases with the classes were not being taught in the schools. They were doing it through Zoom.
Right.
So I think there's probably a lot of things that they have experienced that maybe the Board of Trustees may not have had privilege to, or maybe they have. But I think this is why this question may have come up, with their wanting to have a voice.
Well, you know, when you talk about COVID, I mean, in terms of the impact on our kids and the community and the school, I mean, we may not know for years what the impact is, and so, until then, we need to make sure that the kids are safe and secure. But also, too, if there's issues that that need to be discussed, that we don't turn a blind eye to it, and if having them have more exposure to the board, whether it's sitting. I know some districts have a student trustee position. Like I said, I mean, I'm open to those suggestions, and but also too don't want to reinvent the wheel. And but if the need is there and the request is there, then I'm very open to looking at it.
Good. The other question sent in was about diversity and inclusion, which means that all people have the right to be valued, appreciated, and respected as members of the school community. How would you, as a trustee, ensure that these policies are in place and do actually happen on behalf of the students?
In the previous election, SOGI, the sexual orientation, gender identity was a big issue.
Yes, it was.
And obviously that overlaps into diversity and acceptance. And the last term, we started an anti-discrimination working group. And so, all these issues are extremely important, especially nowadays too, when you read about all the stories in the paper about the different cultures, different races being targeted.
Yes.
And so it is critical that we do it, and we've already started. The committee has met and concluded in the summertime that are going to begin work again in September. So. Do I think it's important? I think it's very, very important.
Of course it
and,
is.
A person of Japanese descent, racism has touched my family. And my parents were interned in were sent to internment camps, during the Pearl Harbor days and everything. So
especially the Steveston area.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, and Richmond is such a diverse community. There's no tolerance for for the racism and discrimination. And so, yeah, I see that as a very important issue, and we started work on it, and we're going to continue working on it. And it will always be something that we'll have to work on, because it's always a work in progress, because things change. But
They do. And our city is certainly a multicultural
Very
city.
much,
So
yeah.
you as a school trustee have a big responsibility in that area, for sure. In one word, Ken, there's 15 candidates running for 7 positions. Can you tell our viewers, in one word, why they should vote for Ken Hamaguchi?
I'm going to say passion. I spent my whole life working with kids, mostly as an autism behavior consultant. But people ask, how can you do that for so long? Well, I love doing it. And I've been involved in community sports, and for years as a coach, or player, coach, administrator. And you know, there's one word that kind of ties it all together, is passion, and that I love doing this stuff.
Okay. Well, that's a good answer. It's a word that I often feel is important in my dialogue with people. Ken, thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate it, and all the best on October 15th.
My pleasure, and thank you for having me.
Oh, we're happy to have you.
All right, take care.
All right.